everyone. This is day 2 of our Henro Pilgrimage. We woke up and, being based in Kochi, boarded the Mayu bus which transported us to Temple 31, Chikurinji. Chikurinji sits at the top of Godai-san, which is about 146 or 479 feet, and named after a similar place in China. I was excited to be able to revisit this temple, as it was where we first learned about the Henro Pilgrimage. This temple was established in 724. I wanted to capture the atmosphere of this place, as we likely would not be returning here for quite some time. I took a few moments to admire the Nio, or guardian deities, at the entrance gate. It's amazing how the carvers were able to convey such strength and power in their poses. On the walls, you can see the Senja Fuda, or votive slips, which bear the name of the worshippers who passed through years prior. And placing your name in a hard-to-reach place extends the length of time that your name is visible to generations of visitors later. I continued up the steps. A hint of red was starting to appear on the maples. Moss carpets the grounds, giving a feeling of timelessness. There were more steps to climb, and the moss on the rocks can make them a bit slippery.
It's a bit slippy.
Some carvings of deities were on display. This temple is famous for its 5-story pagoda. The original one was only 3 stories, but was blown down by a typhoon in 1899. This one was built in 1980. We continue to admire the various statues on the grounds. This one was one-word Jizo, a statue that was found buried on the temple grounds. If you can make your wish in one word, it will be granted. The main hall is frequented by pilgrims. As I mentioned in the previous video, there are a number of customs and traditions to follow, and there are many websites out there that explain the etiquettes and traditions. The whole history of the pilgrimage revolves around Kōbō Daishi, or Kūkai, a monk who was pivotal in establishing Buddhism in Japan. While he did visit some sites on Shikoku, he didn't actually establish all 88 temples on the island, or even walk the route. Even still, it is fascinating to think how the route has become established and is part of the ongoing tradition. For me, it's an interesting way of seeing the countryside and experiencing a bit of the culture. In these next clips, you will see the writing of the calligraphy in the stamp book. This is an enjoyable experience to watch and listen to, so I'm going to let you watch in silence. Please enjoy the sound of the stamps and the ink on the paper. And with that, we made our farewells to the temple and prepared to walk down the hill. Our next stop would be Temple 32, Zenjibuji.
So off we go to 32.
I was mesmerized by this Japanese skink. Juveniles have blue tails, and the wiggling is to attract the predator, in this case, me, and tricking them into attacking the tail, which I didn't, which is then dropped, while the rest of the lizard can run to safety. Meanwhile, I maintained the safety of my knees by carefully walking down these stone steps. I can't understate how treacherous this section was. Halfway down, we got a view of the surrounding countryside and a few late-blooming hydrangeas. I spotted some bright red mushrooms at the base of this tree and some interesting-looking flower buds. We crossed the Shimoda River on a large bridge, and the breeze was lovely. I also took a moment to look at my collection of mosquito bites I had acquired on the hike down. They were very itchy.
Itchy as heck too.
The expressway cuts over the land. It's not very pretty, but it does get the road traffic up and out of the area at least. In true Henro style, a woman had opened her window and let us know where the Henro Trail was. Moments like these are both amusing and heartwarming. I enjoyed seeing the bamboo grove between the eaves. I searched through several websites. However, I was unable to identify the species of this spider. It looks like some sort of argiope, judging by the legs.
Right, frame of reference is probably about an inch long. Body, that is.
In this rice paddy, I spotted a great and an intermediate egret. I'm quite sure this one is an intermediate egret, but only because there is a noticeable size difference from the great egret. I also spotted a lovely cluster of white spider lilies. We were coming up to a tunnel, and we got our lights ready. However, we were a bit disappointed at how short the tunnel was.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not long at all. Hardly enough to even call it a tunnel. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, maybe do that before. Not overly dramatic. Oh, that breeze is wonderful.
Forward to is like nice
Oh,
long.
yeah. Icy tunnel.
Yeah, icy tunnel. This will do though.
This is nice.
After the tunnel, we passed by Sakido Pond, a picturesque area. I noticed it was nearing noon, a good thing to keep in mind when in rural areas, especially near the ocean. This is the test alarm notification that happens at noon, which can be a bit confusing or distressing for visitors who are unfamiliar with this procedure. And yes, it works.
Taller than me. Hey, Nekotachi? Hey, Nekotachi-san. Meow.
This cat posse was a bit comical, but they seemed to relax with a bit of Japanese. We began to climb the hill to Zenji-Buji. This temple is a good place to pray for the safety of sailors and fishermen, and houses the spirit of the boat cannon.
So you can see the Pacific Ocean off there. And yesterday we were over at that temple, way over there. And then crossed from there over that way.
This red, heart-shaped leaf was charming. With water safety as the main theme, they had a lovely little pond. There's a spot where you can look out from the temple. In front is the route we would be following, a veritable food desert. So if you walk through this area, be sure to carry some water and snacks, as even vending machines seem to be hard to find. We had two options to the next temple. One route over the long high bridge, or another to use a local ferry. We liked the sound of the ferry, so we would have to arrive before the last one left for the day. So, we started off towards Temple 33, Sekkeiji. This is an evacuation tower in case of tsunamis. These towers have been built along the coasts around Japan after the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake. The top level of this one is just over 20 meters, and essential in a flat area like this one. We found a restaurant with a Hawaiian theme. Many of the food items had spam in them, but these drinks were refreshing. It was a nice spot to rest and have the sweat dry off. The windows were covered over, probably because there was a cemetery across the street.
Like the little tater tots.
I ordered one of the items that didn't have spam, a Japanese curry with some tater tots. We then hurried along to the ferry, making it well before the last one left. When we visited, this ferry was free for all to use, even for foreigners. There was a waiting room to relax in as well. I was getting a bit impatient, thinking I could hear the ferry coming. Not yet. Eventually, the ferry arrived. We waited for the passengers to leave the ferry. Being a local ferry, there's no frills on board, but we found a spot to stand and enjoy the scenery. The area off to the right is Urado Bay, and through the narrow area is Kochi City. We would be crossing the bay to Nagahama Port.
We are going there. I think. Not 100% sure, but I think that's where we're going.
Now you're close. Where we are, we're not too bad. That's why I've been commenting and watching back. See you later.
Finally, we were ready to go. There was a bit too much wind for the camera, but we really did enjoy the breeze. The splash drew an appreciative sound from everyone. All too soon, we reached the other side. We thanked the ferryman as we left, and in retrospect, the ferry shaved off probably an hour or two of walking. From here, it was a short walk to the temple. I admired this old Japanese storehouse, or kura.
Converted Tosa station.
We visited the temple, and then found a bus with a kind bus driver to return us to Kochi City.
Sparkly. It's almost like lights.
Yeah. Interesting.
Just mirrors. Of course, it stopped playing just as soon as I...
Stay tuned for next time, when we move to the next town of Tosa, nearly getting marooned while we both fell ill. As always, thanks for watching.